Thanks for joining us. Abby and I are having a short conversation on key terms we will be discussing during our show. So Abby, what did the BMR for September 2023 tell us?
So from this, the third quarter's release of the BMR, what it told us was that looking at just the return, the top performers over the last 13 years was Belize Electricity Limited with their debentures, the Belize Telemedia Limited with their equity or shares, as well as the Belize City Council with their municipal bonds. So if you had invested in either one of those securities that I mentioned, you would have probably earned on average about $7 for every 100 that you invested. We also took a look at the last 5 years, and over the last 5 years, what it showed us was that BWSL had their debentures, Belize City with their municipal bonds, and the BL with their shares were also top performers earning an average return of about $6 to $8 for every 100 you invested.
Okay, so here you spoke about factoring risk, but you only mentioned the return.
Yeah, so those were the top performers in terms of return. But if we looked at the ones that were the top performers in terms of risk, it would have been the Corazal Free Zone with their bond, BWSL with their debenture, and also Belize City Council with their municipal bond. Also, over the last 5 years, the ones that had the best return to risk ratio were Corazal Free Zone with their bond and BWSL with their debentures. Savings accounts actually had the best performance for return to risk.
Okay, so your return depends on what you're willing to invest, essentially. And everyone's risk level is different. Let's say a stay-at-home mom, she's probably not likely to invest as much as an entrepreneur or as a multi-business owner.
Yeah, everyone has a different risk appetite, but what you want to just keep into consideration, if you're not a very risky person and you decide to take on an investment that's not so risky, you should be able to expect a lower return or a lower yield on your investment. But if you're someone that is more a risk taker, then you can expect to have a higher risk for taking on that risk. A higher return for taking on that risk.
Okay, so we spoke about 15 types of investments publicly available in the Belize market. What was the total value of investments examined in the Belize Market Return?
So in total, it had amounted to about 4.7 billion in securities.
Is there another measure that we can consider to add to the BMR?
Oh, real estate is actually another measure we want to include in our BMR because there's a lot of Belizeans who are investing in real estate assets. And so at least our team at Legacy are working on finding a metric to keep a record of that.
Okay, and just to confirm, so the BMR comes out every quarter?
Yes, every quarter, and so our next release is expected to be mid-January next year in 2024.
Okay, so besides the viewers hearing about it on our show, where else can they go to get more information?
Yeah, so our viewers can look at the BMR on Legacy's website, so legacyfundlimited.com.
Okay. Thank you, Abigail. This conversation has been amazing, but we do need to take a break. But when we return, we will be joined by Miss Janine Hamilton with another segment of Tech Bites. Stay tuned.